Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name's John Coffey, and I am the Unpaved Explorer. Today is Saturday, April 24th, 2021. It's about 10 till 12, just before noon. Temperature's about 63 degrees outside. So what am I doing today? So I am currently working on my backpack blower. And so last year, early fall, I went to go use my backpack blower, and it wasn't getting gas from the tank to the carburetor. And I looked it over, and the primer bulb was cracked, so therefore it wasn't able to siphon it from the tank to the carburetor. So me and my uncle fixed and replaced the primer bulb. And so I used it once and it worked fine. Then a week later, same situation. And I took it to the small engine repair shop, and they said that it would be quite costly to get it repaired. It'd be just over $100. I think it was like $109 or something like that. And I'm like, $109, I could practically buy a brand new handheld blower. And they said that they just recommended me to get a new leaf blower. And so I did. I got a new leaf blower. I bought a Home Light for $80 plus tax at, I think it was Home Depot. Meanwhile, my backpack blower is a really nice backpack blower, and it was an expensive one too. It was almost $300. I think it was like $269. And so I wanted to get it. So I kept it. I figured when I had time, I would take a look at it and get a carburetor kit and rebuild it, or a new carburetor. Well, unfortunately, you can't get a new carburetor because they're no longer available. The manufacturer doesn't make it. So the only way I could get it to possibly work is to order a kit. So I went to the small engine repair shop and ordered a kit. So the kit cost me $13, and I also bought some gas line hose. So before I put the messed around the carburetor, I went ahead and put the new incoming gas line. The return I really don't care about, because it does nothing but just directs any excess gas back into the gas tank. So I went ahead and installed the incoming gas line, and that didn't do it. It still wasn't getting gas from the gas tank to the carburetor. So I went ahead and took the carburetor apart and everything. I found the part that needs to be fixed and ordered a carburetor kit. Well, there's on the diaphragm, there's 5 holes, and the kit that they ordered only has 4 holes. And I asked them if that's okay, and they went and looked, and they said that they ordered the wrong kit. So they ordered the right kit, and the right kit has the same diaphragm, a 4-hole diaphragm. And they inquired about it, and they said that 4-hole diaphragms go work, that you don't need the tail for the 5-hole. So I got the kit, and I'm going to go ahead and put the leaf blower together. So I stuck a rag in where the carburetor goes, just to make sure no mice or dirt or any debris gets in the engine, until I got the parts for the carburetor. So I took apart the carburetor, and all the parts are in a 1-quart container there. So right here, I just put on the 1-quart container the carburetor rebuilt kit. So I'm going to go ahead and get the camera situated. Hopefully you can see what I do, but a lot of it will be covered by my hand. And I'm not doing a full carburetor repair. I'm just repairing the part that needs to be repaired. No reason to fix something that's not broken. Because with carburetors, especially small engine carburetors, you mess around with them too much, you'll end up breaking more. So I'm going to go ahead and reset the camera so that it's sitting on a bucket, and I'll begin working on it. So the first thing I'm going to do is get some tools that I know I'm going to need. So I went ahead and got the tools, and I'm just double checking to make sure I'm recording. Yeah, all right. So I just got some needle nose pliers. Phillips head screwdriver, a small Phillips head screwdriver, and a flathead screwdriver. I'm pulling the rag out of the engine compartment there. Now this is the incoming line, and this is the fuel line return. This is the carburetor kit, rebuild kit, and so I'm going to put this on the left hand side. And this is the carburetor. Now the carburetor's been taken apart and is in pieces here in the container. So here's the carburetor. And the part that is broken is the diaphragm right here. It's torn. So I'm going to try to get this fixed and see what happens. And so this is the air filter, and this is the cap to the air filter. This is the primer bulb. Another extra gas line just in case something went wrong. I won't be using that. This is the part where the diaphragm connects to. This is the choke. Two screws. Gasket. Seal. And the 4 screws that hold the carburetor. So I'm going to start to go ahead and put this together here. And let me see everything in this carburetor kit that they gave me. So trying to be careful so I don't rip this wide open and everything splashes all over the ground. Now there's so these repair kits, when you get them, they come with a variety of different parts so that they could be used with other various different series. And you know the funny thing about these small engines is, okay, I think this is the one I need. So let me see here. Yeah. So this is the diaphragm that I need. So this one. Let's see here. Yeah. All right. That looks like the one. So this is the part that broke. The diaphragm cracked. So I'll put this on this side. So all I'm doing right now is cleaning this up. And I'm using Carborator cleaner, carbon choke parts cleaner. And I'm just cleaning the area where the diaphragm and gasket is supposed to go. So I'm just going to spray it very lightly. And I'm just going to clean off where the diaphragm goes. So I cleaned it off. Next thing I'm going to do is put the new gasket on there. I'm putting the new gasket on there. Everything should line up. Now you got to be very careful with the diaphragm. Because you don't want the diaphragm to tear. So I put the diaphragm on. Then I'm putting the top So I put the top on top of the diaphragm. Now this part is where the primer valve goes. Then I'm putting the gasket on. Oops. Yeah, you gotta be very careful. So I'll put that gasket on after I put this carburetor all together here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put the 4 screws in the carburetor. So you want to start these in by hand. Well, with your fingers. I don't know, I sure hope you're able to see everything I'm doing. What happens is you gotta wiggle it so that everything fits. Just to let you know, I did clean this carburetor with carb cleaner and blew it off. So, beforehand. Now I'm screwing, and I'm not tightening it yet, just snugging it. The 4 screws, and then you want to do it counter each one until it's snug. Then I'll tighten it down a little bit. Now I'm just a regular guy. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a small engine repair person. What I'm doing is just trial and error, trial and error. So. Now I'm tightening down, but you don't crank down on it, just a little tight. So that does that. So the next thing you want to do is put your choke on. Now I got to remember. It goes this way. All right. Yeah. Okay. So you want to take your seal and put it on your choke. And it goes like that. Then you would take your two long screws. Oh, got it upside down. Here, let me clean that seal off. See, it goes like that. So you put your ring seal on the plastic side. You put it in. Yeah, the rabbit just walked by. Man, that ring just doesn't want to stay in there. There we go. So now, what you want to do is put your gas lines on. So that's the far one should be your fuel line return. Well, let me pull that off and put this one on. So this is your fuel line from your tank to your primer, the new one. I tell you what, it's hard to get that on there, but it takes a while. All right, it's on there. Then now you put your fuel line return. Then you put your gasket. Now you got to really look to make sure you put the right side facing the right direction. You want to keep everything tight here. I think it goes like that. Yeah. Then you put your screws in. Tighten your screws by hand. Because you don't want to cross thread that's going into the engine. Okay, it's in there. Then you take your screwdriver. Now these screws here, they got it so that it's, you can use a flathead or a Torx. And here, what you got to do is little turns at a time so you don't damage any gaskets, seals, or rings. I sure hope the lighting's good in here. I sure hope it's still recording because I can't see if it's still recording. Now you don't want to turn this too hard because everything's plastic. Okay, carburetor. Got gas. Okay, then the next thing you got to do is, let me make sure that's okay. The throttle line here. Let's see here. Oh, there it is. You got to connect the throttle line back to the carburetor. I probably should have did that before I put the carburetor on. I don't know if it's going to go. That wasn't good. There we go. All right, it's threaded through. Now I gotta connect it. It doesn't help too much when you got chubby fingers. Okay, let me do that again. Okay. Okay, the throttle line's connected. Next thing is the air filter. Then your air filter cap. Alright. So that's the end of it. So let's see if it primes. Yep. So we got fuel going to it. So I am going to take starting fluid. Spray some starting fluid in here. What you want to do is after you do that, you just want to wait a few seconds so that the fumes can build up. Okay, let's see if it works. It works. Now what you want to do is just open up your cap to the and just tighten those screws just in case it vibrated loose at all. Run it again. this is the old one. I don't know if you could see how it's torn. The diaphragm is torn. So I'm going to save this kit, this hose, and let me see if I could turn the camera so that you can see me a little bit. So, hopefully my head's not cut off. I'll slouch down into the chair. So this is what happened. Late fall, my leaf blower quit working. I looked at it, and the primer bulb was cracked. So I took it to my uncle's. I says, hey, can you take a look at this? And if it'd be a challenge to replace the primer bulb. So we replaced the primer bulb. It worked once. It worked at, when we put it back together. Then when I got home and I had to blow the leaves, it worked once. Then a week later, I went to use it again, and it didn't work. Same situation. I couldn't get the gas up to the carburetor past the primer bulb. So I took apart the carburetor and looked, and the primer bulb's good. So I thought it was the fuel line. So I went and got a new fuel line and fuel filter. I replaced the incoming fuel line and the fuel filter. That didn't work. So I went ahead and took apart the carburetor, and I found out the diaphragm was cracked. And so I went ahead, ordered a carburetor repair kit, because you can't get a carburetor anymore. They're not available. So I got a carburetor repair kit. So initially, the small engine repair shop, they wanted over $100 to fix this. I think it was like $109 or $119. I can't remember. But I know it was over $100. And I knew that I could get a new handheld blower for under $100. So I bought a new handheld blower, and then I used that, and I kept this around because I wanted to see if I could try to fix it, because it's a pretty expensive backpack blower. So I went ahead and then ordered the carburetor repair kit. It came in, and then the one that they initially got was the wrong one. So they reordered and ordered another one, and they said it would work. So I went ahead and rebuilt the carburetor. Now, I didn't rebuild the entire carburetor. I rebuilt the carburetor from the diaphragm all the way to the primer bulb. And so, and then you saw me, I put it back together and it runs. And so that shows you. So the fuel line and fuel filter cost me $8.03. And then the carburetor repair kit cost me $13.08. So I got roughly $22 roughly into fixing this. So I saved myself $100 by fixing it myself. And I'm sort of upset because I really didn't have to buy that handheld blower. But now I got two blowers. Maybe I'll sell one of these, because if you don't use gasoline, small engines frequently, they tend to gum up. So here's my recommendation if you can't get your blower to work. First thing is change your spark plug. Second thing is change your fuel and fuel filter. If that doesn't work, then check your lines, your gas lines. See if you're getting gas priming from the gas tank to the primer bulb. Check your primer bulb. Then check your diaphragm. And so you need three things. You need fuel, spark, and air. So getting better at repairing these small engines. I fixed my leaf blower, fixed my snow thrower, and if I wouldn't have known all this, I probably could have fixed my weed eater when my weed eater died 2 years ago. And so I actually took that up to the same repair place, and they told me it would cost more to fix it than to repair it. And so I gave it to a guy who fixes old stuff and sells it, and I just gave it to him because I didn't want the headache, and I don't know what happened to it after that. So, well, I hope this is helpful to you. Let me see if it starts one more time. Yep, it works. So I hope this was helpful for you. Again, my name's John Coffey. I'm the Unpaved Explorer, and I just saved $100 repairing my leaf blower. It cost me $22. And so, you take care. Keep exploring the outdoors, and I'll catch you on the next exploration. Again, my name is John Coffey, the Unpaved Explorer, and I'm out of here.